All right. So last week we used a data set that we sent out to you guys. That was I think from Baseball Reference. So today we're gonna do a package, and the package kind of works the same way as we installed a package like Tidyverse and ggplot. So like always, we start off with install packages and then in quotes. So the package is called Nflreadr, and then you click run. I'm not going to do that just because I already have that downloaded. So once you do that, like I mentioned, with the other packages, you click library and then this package will come up and then you run it and there it is. So we have that uploaded. Um, to get like play-by-play data, which is what we're going to be doing today, you could do that for a lot of sports like baseball, hockey, college football, baseball. A lot of them, like I think MLB Fast R. Well, there's an MLB Fast R. So there's a lot of that, but today we're going to use Nflreadr. But to go into the data, we're going to also use Tidyverse. So we're going to run that. Have that loaded, and then library Dippler. Run that. So like if you don't have any of these packages downloaded, you'll always do the install.packages, and then in the parentheses, you'll put in quotes what you want to have downloaded. Once you have that downloaded, you'll never have to do that again. You'll just simply click library. So I think we're ready to get started into this package. So we're going to do PBP, which obviously stands for play-by-play. And then the less than sign dash Nflreadr. And load play-by-play right here. Click play-by-play. This is 2023. But we want to do, let's do 2022 right here. So here we have 2022. And I think I mentioned this last time, so we're going to use the pipe operator. So what the pipe operator means is just simply going and then. So a shortcut for this is Command Shift M. Sometimes for some computers, it'll look like this. Yeah.
For anyone like who's like still learning more, the hashtag is a comment. So anything that you put behind a hashtag is meant as like a note. So it's like more of a note to self than it is a like actual command. And so that's why he put it in the hashtag. So if he runs that, nothing will actually happen. It's basically just like a note to self.
Yeah.
When you have like a less than sign of the badges, you have like something special on your computer. Like,
So yeah, I'll show you. So for this right here, it'll be the same for every computer. That just means like you're absorbing that information from this. But what you're referring to is the pipe operator. So for the shortcut is Command Shift M. So for mine, that looks like that. For a lot of the other computers, it'll probably be the parenthesis or percentage greater than percentage. Does that look familiar for you guys? Is that on your computers? All right, perfect.
and then for anyone who doesn't create a computer, when you think of the library Tidyverse and the library Dippler, you're gonna have to install that package to complete the base.
So we just want the regular season. So we're gonna go season type equals parenthesis quotation marks reg just to get regular season. So I made a mistake, so we want to put a second one in there. So there we go. So
Does everyone know what like the data that he's working with is? Yes. Yeah. Basically, play by play, like if he opens that, it's every single play from every single NFL game for the 2022 season. So if he goes back here, like that load play by play is for 2022. If he wanted to see every season from 2000 to 2022, basically he would go before the 2022 and just like indicate that he wants every year in between that. But see here, like, I don't know if everyone remembers, but week 1 last year, the Jets played the Ravens. If he keeps scrolling, basically you'll have every single play from every single game. That's how you have 372 variables. So whether that's game seconds remaining, game half, goal to go, time, yard line. It has 372 different variables within that data set. And as you can see, there's almost in one single regular season in 2022, there were 47,841 total plays run. So every single line is a different play that's being run. So that's just kind of like an explanation of the data set. I mean, didn't really understand that.
But so our first example, which is what Brett sent out to you guys, I think, from that that link. We're gonna do quarterbacks. So does anybody have like a quarterback that they want me to use?
Yeah.
All right, we can use Daniel Jones. So that's like I mentioned, that's gonna be our new data set name. It will just be called Jones PV Command Shift M. So we want to filter it just to be Daniel Jones. So season type, it's 2 equal signs, and then oh, that I didn't have that issue. So for filter, we're gonna do passer. So it's the passer player name right here. Equals quotations.
Like his problem was he was missing this type operator, so that's why season type wasn't loading because he didn't have this type operator. The percent greater than percent basically means it means the word then. So basically, like what this means is he's taking the play-by-play data set that he's creating from this Nflreadr load play-by-play 2022, and then he's filtering it to only the regular season. So basically, that's what that means when you still didn't really understand that.
So in quotations, we're gonna put D.Jones. And then @ sign. And we're gonna do interceptions. So we have our new data set called Jones, which is obviously in reference to Daniel Jones. We click that. And these are his interceptions right here. Has anybody gotten to that point? You guys have gotten, do you need help? All right. is anybody ready to move on? You are. Do you guys need?
Basically, for anyone who doesn't, if they still have the data from last time, you don't exactly need that data anymore. So for anyone who doesn't know how to do that, to clear all of your data that you had last time that you don't need anymore, you can hit that room up in the top right, that clears out your data bank basically.
Yep.
Did you run this line?
Yeah, right.
So did you install the package for Nflreadr? Yes, that's what you install. So you install packages and then Nflreadr imports Nflreadr and then do it.
Are you able to keep up? Yeah, I'm just trying to get to download the data. So,
Okay, so you don't need to download it from like a web anywhere. It's strictly on our studios.
Alright.
Data. First, like this up here, this will give you our script. It's basically like a notepad that you can send down here. This is your console. And so basically to be able to call any package and the data is what's called a package. So we're going to type install packages and then Nflreadr. And then when you run that, now you're access to all the Nflreadr package.
right now, this one.
And so basically what I'm gonna do is you have to just like, you guys are working on there, you just have a few more packages to install.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do install with that all.
Yeah, like install it.
Install it.
No, that's. So are you up to this point right here? Okay.
So this ggplot is the biggest data visualization package. So that's why we have that one. Install packages. Tidyverse
Yeah.
on that one. That basically is the biggest for data configuration. That's where he's getting like that filter and that click operator. Yeah. Big data sets. Now you just need to call all of them library. So read our library. Tidyverse. This just basically library means it's like now you installed it. Now you're actually calling it to use that package. Library.
Install that.
And so now to get the data set onto your thing, that's where he does that play by play. And then he makes that's dash like greater than less than arrow. He basically puts it into a data set. Then you're gonna call like wherever you're trying to get the data from, which is Nflreadr, which is the NFL package that we're coming to. And you're trying to load the play by play from Nflreadr onto your computer. That's why we're going to go play by play. And we want to load the 2022 season data. So now if I run that, it's running. So it's running. Now you have the play by play for that for the entire 2022 season. Basically, the next step was he filtered it to the season type being the regular season. So I'll let you keep kind of like adding on what he added on, but that's kind of like the explanation of how he got to where he's at. Does that make sense? So this data isn't coming from online, it's coming from specific R package.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
All right, yeah. So you just had a problem, it's slowly, so then just pull the library. So having to have to do it all the time, now it's just. But yeah, it's true. Sometimes it might not work, it's have to try it. You have to run the first and then go back to it. So you just type this and that and go through and then just put that. Yes, and one library. So you solve all these and basically, so now you have this library. And then option. Did you just London's? Yeah. And basically the data which is the package that is getting the data from. And the all the data, so basically they're so this is all them, they don't have like this on it, and it's like so now I'm basically all the my passengers, I'll let you do that. Keep reading about the rest of it. No, I was just making sure. And then he created a data set for being into it. And he's filtering it to find the master player name, which is the fully bad. Its name is the Tidyverse. So what about the sign up in the lab? So that's what called the Nflreadr, and basically that means so without saying that, basically trying to sort of what that's saying is he's always played by the player for the 2022 NFL season, and then he's over for the season to be the regular season. Anyone else need help? If anyone wants to keep trying on their own, everyone has the link that I sent to Groupie, right? You're looking at it right now. Kind of the prompts that the exercises that we're going through are like exercise 1, 2, 3, and 4 on that list. Exercises. What? So yeah, just regular. Exactly. So if you aren't doing anything and want to try and go ahead, you can.
But I could say, yeah. Yeah.
Anyone knows has 6 picks, I'm like, you know, like everyone else has 5, mine says 6 of them saying it's like yeah, so 2 touchdowns, 6. Be around and be able to move on back.
All right. Is everybody good for me to continue? All right, love that. All right. So Daniel Jones only threw 5 interceptions last year. I think that was a surprise for everybody. So for the next, so we're gonna do the pipe operator again, which Brez mentioned. It just means then. Command Shift M, go to the next line. So for our next function, we're gonna do summarize. So with summarize, you're able to like create like a statistic almost, I want to say. Just you're able to average, you're able to find the mean, you're able to add up numbers, you're able to subtract, you're able to do a lot of functions with that. So we're gonna do summarize. And then we're gonna do average air yards equals mean. I'm sure everybody knows what mean means. And then inside the parentheses, we're gonna do air yards right there. Then we're gonna click run. So you should have one, this should be your number 13.6, hopefully. So what that means is just on every interception he had, the average was 13.6 average air yards. Did everybody get that? Thank you. Does anybody need help up to this point?
Just random question. Do you know if that's like down the field air yards or?
Whatever they have is air yards. So I guess just, yeah, I think it's down the field.
For anyone who wants like a definition of what everything means, you can try the question mark. So like type in the console question mark and then you put question mark. Play that. That should hopefully, like, if you run that, that gives you a description of everything that's in your data set. Maybe if you, like, that's showing what the load play website is, but if you click somewhere through there, it should be able to explain where everything is. Not.
Oh, you want me to, all right.
Like, if you, like, on that, like, where it says help, like, on the right, it should explain what every variable is. If you click through that, like if you go to lowest play by play from the Nflreadr there in the repository. You click around there, there should be somewhere that explains what everything is, maybe not that. But
If you click on the, you scroll down, you see also the top one, NFL,
dictionary play by play, yeah.
that one.
Yeah, right
That
here.
one of them should show
But
what every.
this will kind of be for every package. Every package you put the question mark and then whatever you want to put in here. They'll have a description of what each package is in here for you guys to just look at and just go over more. So this is the pipe operator. So this will kind of look different. So this is like the same as this. Yeah, it's just for a shortcut is Command Shift M. But whenever I put this, it's the same exact thing as this. Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody else need help getting up to this point? All right. Yeah.
For anyone who's having some other errors too, you might have installed the Nflreadr, but also install these things. So ggplot is for data visualization. So I think your problem was you didn't have them installed. So you just need to install readr, ggplot, Tidyverse, and Dippler, and then call for the library. And that's why it was saying that it couldn't find the percent greater than percent. because you hadn't installed it, and so it didn't know what it was.
So just type in the play-by-play. Yeah. Yes. You guys good? I think so, yeah. No, so. Same data. Bridge. We all go. And then do the. We all go. Yeah. Big. Really? Are you doing good? It's really showing out. He's gonna care that much. I don't know, dude. If I see one of those, yeah. So with you're forgetting the filter. And put that line, the passer underscore there, equals, and then that should load for you, just because you have to, it's not filtering out anything. So you're trying to- Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like. Okay, use that real quick. I don't. So yeah, you're probably off on like that. It created. No, so this is. Yep, and then. You know what I mean? I really don't. You want just the individuals. Because it's looking for someone who's in and that person going to use. Now we're gonna lead up. Yep. A lot of coding is just to see things by like comma or parentheses, and that's easy, but that's what we're trying to do. The more you learn, the more confident that you'll be able to do it on your own, and when you get tripped up by those errors, you'll be able to figure out on your thing. So running into these errors is honestly a good thing. So, yep. Yeah. It's now all of a sudden Control C is to copy, right? That pipe operator, like you don't have the pipe operator, it's instead of something else. Because you're saying end to end, you're saying end to end nothing. So and that's why I didn't know what to do because it's something else. Yep. I can help. All right. Well, when you've done the first example, if they want to go on and try the second example, if you want to challenge yourself, see what you know. The second example is basically creating a data frame called wide receivers, and then finding the average yards after catch for those wide receivers. Ethan will go on to it now, but if you are waiting and don't have anything else to do, you can try. All right, so for our next thing, we just did quarterbacks right there, so we'll do wide receivers as a whole. So we're gonna call our we can just do WR wide receivers. So the same thing like right here, when I gather the data from play by play. Shift Command M. So now we're going to use group by. I mean, it's pretty like self-explanatory. You're just grouping the variables together. One more thing, real quick. So for anyone who sees this,
don't type this symbol. This is just what Ethan has that means this.
Yeah,
So
here,
whenever
I'll
you
just,
see this, type this, not this. Okay?
I'll just start doing that. So, group by, and then we're gonna do, type in receiver.
Does everyone know what group by does? Yes?
So it's pretty much the same thing for right now. Dude. And shift M. So do the percentage thing there. Now we're gonna do filter. So if you notice, there's like a lot of NAs. So to get rid of that, what you want to do is do an exclamation point is dot NA. So what this means, the exclamation point, it means do not or is not. So now you want like is not NA. So receiver there. Ship them. Or excuse me. We're gonna do the same thing is dot not yards after catch.
Does anyone know, does everyone know what NA means? Like, it's something like, sometimes when you have data, it's some, like, they'll, in the data frame, there'll be things that is missing. Because either it just wasn't recorded or it was recorded wrong. NA basically is that filler that we didn't have any put there, so we're just gonna put that it's not there. And so basically what we're doing is getting rid of anywhere that it is not there. So we're only looking for things where something actually happened, or that they correctly recorded it.
Thank you. Yep. So receiver, make sure it's spelled correctly. So, and then we're gonna do the same thing, is not or is dot NA. And then we're gonna do Yak EPA. EPA is expected points added. It's like a football statistic about like measuring how valuable you are to the team or that play in general. And then make sure you have the same amount of parentheses as well, just to close everything. Thing.
47,841 observations down to 11,604 because he filtered all of these things out. So basically, if there wasn't a receiver on the play, those plays are now gone. If there wasn't yards after catch, which meant there was a reception, those plays are gone. So that's why we have less than we did before.
So now we're gonna do summarize, kind of like the same thing up here. So pipe operator. Now we're gonna do total yards. Equals sum. And then we're gonna do yards gain. And then comma. Where? For Daniel Jones. So for equal signs, that's kind of just more if it's a character variable. And like for character variables, you'll always want to have those in quotes. But for something like this, you won't have to. That's a good question though. Where? So average yak equals mean. Catch. and then make sure it's closed out. Hopefully it's fine. So now you have wide receivers, every wide receiver's total yards, average yak yards, and then average yak EPA. I know I threw a lot at you. So you want to do summarize and then total average yards. This is like what you're calling it. This is what the new column is called. And then equals sum, just because you want everybody knows what the sum means. And then whatever is in here is going to be what the information or what the variable is from the previous data set. Then to get onto the next column or the next row, you're just going to put a comma and then the same thing, and then just make sure you're closed out. So did anybody get there? You guys got there? Does anybody else need help? Are you guys good?
Yeah. Everyone else close to that? Good? Perfect.
All right.
Yeah,
So
we're going to full page, it's gonna run learns, not just does.
yeah. So now we got for a new data set, now we have just receivers rather than play by play. So Chase Claypool, total 457 total yards. Sure that's Chris Davis probably or Corey Davis. Chuba Hubbard. So now
Basically, group by itself doesn't do anything. Group by needs to be paired with a summarize. And basically group by grouped whatever you had in here. So we grouped by receiver. If we group by quarterback, we can group by team, we can group by running back. That's why you saw we only have 474 observations because there were 474 people that caught a pass. So that's what's gonna, each row is gonna be a different receiver in that group. And summarize basically creates those types of stats that you want to be paired with the group by. That's why there's only 4 observations instead of 372, because we're taking those receivers and we're trying to create these columns such as total yards, average yards after catch, and average yards after catch EPA. So summarize makes it into a smaller data.
So one way to let's say you want to see who has the highest average yards after catch EPA, you could just simply just click this twice, and then whoever this guy is, Gruger Hill. I don't know if I pronounced that name right. Does anybody know who he is? You know who he is? Okay. Gruger Hill. All right. Do the same for Yak right here. But let's say you want to do it in a way of you're writing it on a code. So do the same thing and then Command Shift M or whatever for you guys, which should be the percentage greater than percentage. Go into your next line of code. And now you want to click arrange. That way it just arranges how the data, how you want to see it. Do minus total underscore yards. And now it has it in place. So now we get to see, oh, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. There should be, you shouldn't have to click that, which you're able to do. But if you just do arrange that, and then you just simply, once you click that line of code, it'll be up there for you. Do again, Command Shift M. There's an option called slice, which kind of just cuts your data to how you want it for your variable. You do 1, which is you want the first one. And then how many wide receivers do you guys want to show? So there's 474. How many wide receivers do you guys want to show? 64. All right. 64. So now we have the 64 highest wide receivers with total yards. The 64 highest receivers in total yards. Right there. Did everybody get to that point? You guys are good. Does anybody need help getting to that point?
Does everyone know what a range does? Does anyone tell me what a range does? A range is like your order by kind of thing. Like, what a range did was it showed he has it in descending order, so if you click on your wide receiver thing real quick, it's now showing in which column did you arrange by the total yards?
Yeah.
It's showing Justin Jefferson at the most yards down to whoever he has at the bottom who has the least amount of yards, which was Alec Pierce in this situation. Go back to your code now. And slice basically said, because we arranged it, we want to see whoever had the most, so that would be number 1. 2, you wanted to see 64 people, so you're slicing the data set from the 474 that you add down to 64.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So if you want to see 20, you can just change that number to 20. If you want to see 85, raise it to 85.
Yeah. And if you want to like, if you're like a Packers fan or something and you don't want to see Justin Jefferson, you just do 264. And now Justin Jefferson's like out of your sight. So. All right. So I think we have time for one more. So.
Real quick, before, if you wanted to change and you wanted to see it by team instead of receiver, change receiver to possession team. And I think that will show you it by team now.
For group 5.
Yeah. So now changing it to possession team, now you're grouping it by team instead of wide receiver. So you see Chiefs, Minnesota, Chargers, Miami, all these kind of make sense. I mean, this was Brady with the Tampa Bay. So you very quickly was able to go from receivers. I want to see all the receivers. Now I want to see all the teams. It is nice. An easier way. Can you show them the names thing real quick down here?
Yeah. What was it again?
Just do names or PDP. This names function that you have down there. Basically, names allows you to see every single column that's in your data set. So if you wanted to, you could go into like play-by-play and right click and scroll through all the data to see what they mean. And the easiest way to do it is just type names, and you can see literally an entire list of every single column that's in your data set. So whether it's play ID, session team, defense team, that's what names does. Just another easy thing to know and have. Unique is another type of function. Can you show me unique real quick? What unique does is it looks into a variable, play-by-play, and then $.
Let's do
Or do
Right.
possession.
yeah. So possession team. So with that, you'll see every team just because you'll have 32 different teams and they'll use 32 different teams for that function. You
What
could
it
do
does is it looks into that variable and show you every single output that variable has. So for possession team, it has every single team and then NA because some of them don't have, some plays don't have a team that has the ball, such as a kickoff.
yeah. So PvP and then money sign down. You'll see obviously there's 4 downs, so you'll have that right there.
So those are just, if you're trying to explore like what does your data set mean and you don't know, like if you didn't know what if you didn't know what play types there were, if you like look at unique play type, show that one real quick. Sounds another easier and maybe you don't know what specific types of play type that you're looking to call. These are all the different play types that you have in football: a kickoff, a run, a pass, punt. So if you wanted to say, I want to see only the runs, I would now set play type equal to run. Whereas you could have thought it might have been called rush, and that's why you weren't getting results. You need to let you see what exactly is being play type. Everyone understand?
Yeah. All right. So for our last one, we'll do defense. So we're gonna do quarterback hits. It's like Brett mentioned, we'll do group by, and instead of offensive team or possession team, we're gonna do defensive team. So it's just DEF team. So now it starts to know what we're trying to do. Yeah. Does anybody remember what I have to do to get rid of the NAs? The exclamation point. And then as the NA. Defensive team right there. Delete this really quick and then. Or actually, no. We'll keep that for now. Type operator. Summarize. Now you want to call QB hit equals sum. QB hit. And then the RM equals true. QB hits right here. And then, do you have to do ungroup?
You don't have to.
Yeah, especially with
It's a
this.
good habit.
Yeah. So it is a good habit to ungroup just so like in case you want to do other variables or other functions. Yeah. But QB hits. So right here, the New York Jets led the league in quarterback hits. 49ers, Eagles. And then on the low side, Bears, rough defense. The Browns. I know the Falcons have always had pass rush issues. So you feel free to see where your team lands right there. And then see. Does anybody need help? Did anybody get to that point? Got you. All right. All right. All right. Should I start saving everything?
So was everyone able to do that? All right.
Yeah.
Does everyone think that they could be tested to do one on their own then, real quick without Ethan's help? If we just did a quick one, like if I said, could you tell me how many times, Evan Ingram caught a touchdown? You think you could do that? No, no one thinks they're there yet? Does everyone want to try? They can work together with everyone around you, but without Ethan kind of showing you to do it. Basically, you'll need to filter your data from regular play-by-play to Evan, receiver equals Evan Ingram, your equals Evan Ingram, and then,
And you said touchdowns?
yeah,
Yeah, so you'll do, and then this and sign touchdown.
touchdown is a variable in there. And then you're gonna want to summarize and just sum up all of his touchdowns. I'll show you how to do it after, but. I think it's best to learn more by being tested on your own. Touchdown. How many touchdowns
Yeah.
did you have in last season?
First initial ballot.
Yeah, so Ingram.
You want to do equals Ingram.
Yeah. And then put that in quotes as well. So for somebody asked a good question earlier. For when you're doing like an equals and you put a number, you could just put the equals number. But if you put a character variable like Daniel Jones or D. Jones, you'll always want to put those in quotes. Has anybody gotten it so far? You got it? How many touchdowns did he have? 4. There you
So
go.
that filter touchdown, and if you want to actually see how many like, obviously you can see 4 because there's 4 plays, but if you actually wanted to see the number, then you would do a group by, or you would do a group by and then receiver, and then you would summarize. You'd summarize touchdowns, and then that would like sum up how many touchdowns he had.
Yeah. All right.
Was everyone able to do that, or is everyone not able to get there yet? So you want to do summarize, and you just want to do like touchdowns. And then you want to do equals. And then you would literally only want to do touchdowns with n parentheses.
What do you want?
And then you don't put your Python operator at the end because
You didn't group by anything.
No, you won't. Just group by real quick.
operate.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to just create another data set that just shows. Why does your Ingram thing still say 0? Earlier on.
So I'll show him how to save
Okay.
everything. All right.
So if everyone was able to get 4, we'll
Yeah.
kinda-
Yes. All right. So I'll show you guys how to save. So you just click File, Save As. My computer's kind of slow.
If you ever want to add on to it, like you didn't finish what you were doing, or you want to keep adding to it, and you don't want to have to retype everything the next time, you can save it to your whatever file you can save it to.
But yeah, so with my computer being a little slow, so something will pop up like right around here if you have a Mac like I do. Then if it has like untitled something .r, you're in a good spot. You just see right here, type it whatever you'd like, and then save it to wherever you need it to be. You can create a folder. And then once you save it, you'll always have it. So I saw that a lot of you guys still had the MLB data from last time. I mean, to prevent any problems in the future, just because it'll like kind of mix up the data set. Whenever you work on something new, you should get in the habit of like clearing it just by clicking this right here. So that clears all that. Clearing this will clear your old code. But once you save as, and then it'll show your code from that. But other than that, I think that's kind of all we have.
Oh, what happened?